So what do you think it means to be a good father? Because I want to be a dad.
Well, I thought about that a lot while I was planning and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I played it was I spent all the time that I could with my kids. I mean, rather than leave them at babysitters and go out and stuff like that, I don't think Marcus and Matt had much babysitting time when they was with me at all.
I think that's one of the most valuable things a parent can offer a child is just time, quality time.
He was waking me up on Sunday mornings in bed saying his ABCs with them magnets that go on the refrigerator correctly at age 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I spent all the time I had with the kids when they was little. Except for Matt, after age 3, I didn't have much time with him again until he was about 5.
Mm-hmm. But those are the formative years, right? So if you can set up a good foundation for them, because something I'm really convinced of is that homeschooling is far better than elementary school, middle school, kindergarten, all of that. And I feel like part of the issue school exists is because it's free babysitting for parents.
They put a lot of special problems on that, though.
Yeah.
As far as the hoops you have to jump through, you still have to be in the system and pass their curriculum.
Yeah. Like I understand the value of a lot of the base stuff I learned. Like learning to read is really useful. Learning basic arithmetic is really useful. Learning science.
But, with the devaluation of the money, the progression of that has been the case that both parents have to work.
That's part of the issue.
They can't stay home and teach their children anymore. So
that's why I'm hoping that whatever career I commit to can generate enough excess capital, or I can work from home or things like that, such that I can really be present. Because it feels like a disservice to a child if you cannot really spend a lot of time with them and really give them the attention they deserve.
Kids watch and understand more than we give them credit for. All you have to do to know that is look back on your own childhood.
Exactly.
Man, you were having thoughts that no adults, you didn't want any adults to know you was thinking this stuff, or that you knew this was going on, and you're not supposed to know that shit.
Right.
And that kind of stuff. You remember that.
I do.
Well, it's even younger now.
Yeah.
With the technology and stuff.
Yeah. Now kids have tablets in their hands.
Right.
Before age 4, They have their own smartphones. They have access to the internet and everything.
I think that's a mistake, but it don't much matter what I think at this point, does it?
I mean, that's why you're here. Because talking in this conversation is because people want to hear what you have to say. I do, at least.
Well, I don't know if 4-year-olds need to be sitting with phones watching interviews. I think they need to have some kind of childhood first.
Right.
I mean, 4 years old, that's a hopscotch time, isn't it?
Yeah.
And learning to ride a bike, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. At least you'd be scooting to town on that trike.
There's this psychotherapist, Adam Lane Smith. I was looking at his Twitter account recently, some of his Twitter posts, and I've seen a bunch of interviews with him on a podcast. Like, he's said some controversial things on Twitter, and he's helped a lot of couples. He's been a psychotherapist and all that, and now he's helping men, especially with their issues. But he said something about how, with his kids, by age 3, they're having complex conversations. And he says him and his wife never baby talk them. They always talk like they're talking to an adult. And they use complex vocabulary, big words. And he said his daughter, who's age 4 or something, is already using 4-syllable words in everyday language. And I realized, what if we underestimate kids and then they live up to our underestimation or live down to our underestimation because we just don't think that they're capable of more. And they just grow into that expectation. Because I have a feeling if you expected more from your kids and you just treated them like more, they would be more. And he seems to be living proof of that. He also said something interesting, which is that his wife recently told him when she was pregnant with their 4th kid, that if they had started having kids when they just met, this would be her 7th kid. And she would have preferred that. So that's another sort of counterculture thing, because today so many women are growing up with this idea that they never want kids, kids will destroy their lives. It almost seems like a propaganda movement that kids are bad. But I'm not so sure anymore. I'm starting to question that narrative.
Well, I know one thing as a parent, you never would wish your kids away. no matter what. So, and it's probably true with most anybody looking back on their lives. You wouldn't want it to relieve yourself of any of your experiences, no matter how bad or good, Yeah. And you look back on raising kids, you made all kinds of mistakes. But my heart was always in it. And like I said, I put in a lot of time. Ensured they all knew how to read well and even do research kind of stuff. I figure once you get them to a point, once you get somebody to a point that they can read well and understand what they're reading, that they can learn anything they want.
Yeah.
Especially now. It's at their fingertips generally.
Yeah.
Well, let me Google that.
Yeah.
It's right there. The type of research I can do on Google, even me, without a very much of a modern base of technology, compared to what it would take me back when I was studying at the university.
To go to the library.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
You've condensed half a day compared to a week.
Right. It's amazing.